a shed. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you. Be careful what they'll do. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Caribbean. Good morning to the world. A minute after the 7 o'clock hour. How are you doing this morning? Good morning to you. Let us pray.
Good morning. I'm blessed. Good morning to the nation. Thank you, Lord, this morning for the privilege you give us to come boldly before your throne of grace, to come with assurance in our hearts and confidence that whatsoever we ask of you, according to your will, you would grant it unto us. But as we come this morning, we do recognize our own sinful Adamic nature, Lord. All our sin and come short of the glory of God. And Lord, we are mindful of our sinful tendencies. So Lord, even as we come this morning, we ask you to create in me a clean heart. Create in us a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit. Even as we come to your presence this morning to bring our prayers and our sacrifice of praise, our supplication before you, to ask of you, Lord, to come before your throne to intercede, to plead on behalf of one another, Lord. You ask us to come, with a clean heart and a pure heart this morning. And Lord, this morning, you say a clean and a pure heart you would not despise. A broken and a contrite heart you would not despise. And this morning, Lord, even as I come, I just want to thank you for your goodness. I want to thank you for your grace this morning. Grace that is greater than all our sins. Grace which is sufficient for all our need. Grace is, not we didn't get what we deserve. We deserve justice and punishment, judgment and punishment. But because of the grace of God, you see where sin abound, your grace did much more abound. But you asked us, should you continue in sin that my grace should abound? You said no. How can we who are free from sin continue to live any longer in it? So God, you want us to not continue in our sinful ways, but we should acknowledge you as our creator. We thank you because you're sovereign. You rule in the nations. You rule among the people. You rule in the among the world, Lord, in the world, Lord. And God, we pray that people would recognize your sovereignty. Your rulership supersedes every other powers. There are powers, there are earthly powers and kingdom, but your kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. Your kingdom will never pass away. And Father God, even as we focus on the Yuletime season where so many times we become so commercialized and think only of what we can have, what we can give. But God, we should think this morning, Lord, remind us this morning of the true reason why we celebrate. You said his name shall be called Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sin. Messiah, God among us, Lord, we thank you this morning that we could acknowledge you as the only Savior of the world. Many people come and try to be saviors, and many people try to come and build kingdom and empire, but Lord, none of them would stand. Yours kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. This morning, Lord God, remind us that for God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. And that everlasting life is available today for whoever would call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. And this morning we just want to pray over our nation that God you'd remind us of who you are, what you came to do, and you're still God on the throne. And there's no other throne and kingdom above yours, no dominion, no powers that is above yours. You are sovereign. That means you rule supreme. Lord, this morning we bring our nation to you in a special way. God, even as our budget has been presented, Lord, Vision 2025, people-centered transformation, laying the foundation for resilience, empowerment, and growth. Father God, except you build the city, we cannot build. Except you lay the foundation, it would be uprooted, Lord. Except you lead us, Lord, we will not be led. So, Father God, what a thrilling team. We've listened to many aspects of it as was unfolded yesterday. But, Lord, I keep saying in my mind, except you build, we cannot build. Except you be with us, we would not be a people. Except you go up with us, even as Moses says, Lord, go up with us and cause your face to shine upon us. Be gracious unto us, Lord, and grant us your peace. We pray for a prosperous and a productive nation, Lord. But God, even as I come this morning, I'm so mindful that the secret of this nation, the secret and the prosperity and the tranquility, everything that we could enjoy in this beautiful trial state comes from you. Even as the psalmist said, I will lift up my eyes unto the hill. Where does my help come from? God, my help come from you. You're the maker. You're the supreme one. You're the maker of the heaven and the earth, Lord. The earth is yours and the fullness thereof, they that dwell therein. So, Father, this morning, I'm praying for wisdom. I'm praying for discernment. I'm praying for good debate. We'll see good, stimulating debates over this budget, Lord. We will not see the fight down, the put down, Lord, and the criticism, Lord. We'll learn to embrace each other. The foundation that has been laid, we continue not to just dissolve it, but we continue to build and advance as one people, one nation. God, I pray that for all the ones, every one of them who have to present in the House and defend, and God, you know what take place in this budget time, Lord. And we just pray for calmness. We pray for love. We pray for camaraderie. And even when you tend to want to get hot-headed, Lord, I pray that your spirit will just come among them and, cause your peace. And that whatever come forth, we'll learn. We'll all learn at the end of the day from what has been said, what is truth, what is error, Lord, what has to be corrected, to be done in the right way and in a spirit of camaraderie, Lord. So, Father, we just want to present that to you this morning. Present our nation, watch over us, Lord. Give us a blessed and productive day. Pray for your protection. We pray for your covering. And we give you thanks for what you're going to do. Continue to watch over our nation, Lord. In these difficult times that we're in, Lord, help us to, tune our ears to advice. Less speed on the road, be careful with how we leave our homes, our businesses, and so on. So we ask for your divine protection. In Jesus' lovely name I pray thanksgiving today. Amen and amen.
Amen. Good morning. How are you?
I'm blessed. And how are you?
I'm good.
Great.
All right. So, how's Terry?
He's good.
Wonderful. Have yourself a wonderful day.
You too. All right.
Okay, then. Great. It's real. It's 91. Good morning, friends. Good morning, foes. Yeah. You can't just have everybody in the world. You can't have everybody in the world as your friend. Some people must be your foes too, don't you think? Your friends, your foes. And you have friends again. Anyway, so I'm here and I am going to, I'm starting it off for CJ. She should be in a minute. So you'd be hearing her in a while. Those of you online, top of the morning to you, and thank you so much for choosing Real 91.9, 91.5, www.drealfmgrenada.com. It is open that you're going to have a wonderful DAY. And what else? I just planned for an exciting day. Yesterday was budget. So, okay, you're probably wondering why there's no budget continuation of the budget debate today. Well, what happens is that after the budget is read, the opposition have to be given at least 2 days so as to make their preparation. Right? So that 2 days will be Tuesday and Wednesday. And then you'd expect to hear the commencement of the rebuttal, and that should be by should start with the leader of the opposition, Dr. Keith Mitchell, and that will be on Thursday morning based on my information. And also to let you know, friends, that I'll be trying to have an interview, the same interview I was supposed to have yesterday morning. I'm going to try again to get it this morning. But to let you know that the graduates of Cuba and the Cuba and Grenadian families, Grenadians who have received medical assistance, and friends and supporters of Cuba, you're invited to a solidarity meeting with the Cuban president, Manuel Diaz, and his delegation as he makes an official visit to Grenada as part of a Caribbean tour. And our end of the tour is on Wednesday the 7th of December. That's tomorrow, 5 p.m. He'll be at the Trade Center. I guess he would have other things where he will call on the Prime Minister of Grenada and stuff like that. But in relation to meeting with people from Grenada, that will be on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, the 7th day of December. That's tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Maxine Belfon, good morning to Faith Lynn Halley Douglas and Anna Andrews, Errol Bonaparte, Devon Lane. Good morning to you. It's kind of like the first time I'm seeing the name Devon Lane. Carol Belfon, top of the morning to you. Here's hoping that you are blessed in this beautiful land that the God has given us to live. So what's popping? What we going to be doing? Oh, don't you forget, that we will be having our mental health program this morning with CJ. That should start in a little bit. As soon as I'm able to get everything else done, the program should start with you. So I believe that she has a guest this morning. And I believe that Jester will be joining her on the program also. So stay with us. This is Real. This is 91.9, 91.5, www.realfmgrenada.com.
Wants to save 30%. Everybody. Now more than ever, Flow understands the need to make your dollar stretch. Our new bundles can help you save 30% off your current bill. Plus, get a free speed upgrade on your in-home internet. Simply add your mobile to your current home services account and save 30%. It's easy. Sign up now and save. All on the most reliable fixed and mobile network on island. Visit a Flow store or call us at 1-800-804-2994 for more information. Flow, it only gets better. Terms and conditions apply.
Central Point. Yes, Central Point it is. We have available for all your conveniences newborn diapers, pillows, oil for vehicles, disposable paper items, plates, cups, serviettes, etc. Household items, mops, brooms, and rakes, pipe fittings, top up for your phones, cooking gas from Rubis and Spice, gas for your AC, a wide variety of drinks, soft and alcoholic. If you're in a pinch and need a taxi, that is available also. Contact Bob and Dave at 458-9745, 456-0550, Silverly, or 442-9307. And don't forget, this is where you get enrolled in the university under the cashew tree at Plains in St. Patrick's.
Here's a message for you to come join me on Christmas Shack Shack. It is going to be your ultimate Christmas show. Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 to 10 p.m. It's going to be a blast. Remember the dates now? Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 to 10 p.m. starting November 15th right up to the 22nd of December. Follow me on Facebook.
The Christmas breeze is blowing at Dominic's Shopping Centers in Fun City, Guave. Santa has brought everything you need this Christmas, including greeting cards, flow coverings, mats and rugs, mattresses, bed sheets, pillows and cases, a variety of household items, pots and pans, glass sets, mixers, blenders, toys, flowers, electronics including radios, Bluetooth battery speakers with lights and hi-fi, 4 and 6 burner stoves and refrigerators, washing machines and much more. We have clothing and accessories for the whole family. Extra opening hours for the Christmas season are Sunday 18th December. We will be open from 9 to 5 p.m. Call or visit us today on 444-8804 Lance or 444-9221 Down Street. Best wishes for the Christmas and a prosperous 2023. Dominic Shopping Center, the best in the West. It keeps getting better.
Ho, 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 ho. We can all use some holiday cheer, so Christmas is coming early this year. Unwrap the true magic of Christmas on Real FM 91.9 and 91.5. The time of love and giving is here, so come, take advantage of our specially developed packages as we celebrate our 18th anniversary as a media entity. Packages start as low as $500, which guarantees 5 spots per day, Monday to Friday, and bonus spots on Saturdays. Promotion ends January 31st, 2023. Call 442-0975 or email us at real919fm@gmail.com for more information. Don't miss this superb opportunity to get great discounts when you advertise with Real FM.
Hey now, listen to this and listen carefully. At Lo Tang Soteres is the best little seafood restaurant on this lovely island. Bacon shark, steamed fish, fish and chips, and the daily catch, whatever that may be, we have it for you. To complement this, you can have the most tasty sorrel, golden apple, ginger, and passion fruit drinks, all locally made, just as you know it to taste. As you visit our restaurant, take some time to browse through our super convenient store, where you will find an item which has not been seen for so long. We offer you the best prices on t-shirts and unisex vests, casual and dress shirts, and the widest range of body oils. For whatever the occasion, find the fragrance, be it male or female. For you and only you, we have a wide variety of headphones and chargers. So here's what. Visit for the food, the bar, or the store, and stay for the others, because you never know what surprise is in store for you. We're open from 9 to 9, Monday to Saturday. Sunset Restaurant.
As we continue in the morning time, it's 18 minutes after the 7 o'clock. It's time for us to head on up to Birch Grove. Good morning, Drums.
Hello, good morning.
Talk to me, dear.
Good morning to you. Good morning to the nation. Reading from the Word of God, Matthew chapter 5, verse 8. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall call the children of God. Blessed are they who persecute for righteousness' sake, for they shall see the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are he when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in the heaven. This is the end of the scripture reading.
And thank you so much. How are you today?
I'm not too bad. I'm good.
That's wonderful to hear.
Let me tell you, I find out about your mother, and she's in Maryville, but she's going for a scan today in St. George's. But you could reach that number 442.
Let them send it to me by WhatsApp. Send the number to me by WhatsApp.
Okay then.
All right, but you say they're taking her to St. George's today?
Yes, for a head scan, yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I guess I'll find out when she'll be back at the hospital, so I'll visit, because I was planning to go today, but it's a good thing you're telling me now that they're taking her down. Okay, I'll work it out. I'll tell them send the number for me, and I'll call the number.
Yes, I'll make all you do that for you.
Thank you, darling. Take care.
Have a nice day.
You too, love.
Bye.
It's 19 minutes, and that's straight down after the 7 o'clock hour. What am I still doing here? CJ, she's going to be in a minute. She has a guest with her this morning. We have the weather. That's coming up.
Where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
As my good friend Baby Daddy would say, come on, hulk up the likes. Let me see what the likes look like already for the morning. Yeah, let me just take a quick peek at it. And then I'll be able to do something. Say, hey, what's up with you? Hulk up the likes, no man. Hulk up the likes. And it's kind of like, why do I have to do this? Okay, we only have 6 people. And I just liked, well, yeah, of course, I can. 6, and we have 8 now. I did 7. Somebody is 8. Come on, you have 9. Right. So that's it. As soon as we don't have to remind you of that. As soon as you come in, you just press hit like and that's it. Michelle Alexander says, press the likes. That's what you do. Whenever you come onto the program that we're doing, just press the like. Just that's the first thing. Is before you even listen to the dumb things that I have to say. Don't worry. I wonder if I know CJ is ready. If she's ready, then I'll get an indication that she is. I know that she has a guest this morning. Let's say good morning to CJ, man. Hold on. Let's see if we can. Okay, so how are we gonna do this, Andre? Okay, sitting here in limbo, waiting for the time to roll. Sitting here in limbo. Okay, this? No, Andre. That wouldn't work. Use this. Right, so we use this. And then, yeah, good. I think that's how we do it. Okay. I thought she was going to be there, but she's gone. Anyway, let's see if we get the weather, and then we'll do everything else, all right? Okay?
Where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
In your search for happiness, you gotta leave a little room for loneliness. More things could happen all of a sudden before you realize it's only a disguise. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with what you do and how you're doing it.
The weather comes to you with the compliments of the folks at the Morris Bishop International Airport, the meteorological office located there. Representing them this morning, Jason Robertson. Good morning, Jason.
Morning to Andre, and good morning to our listeners of Real FM. Let's take a look at the weather for today, Tuesday, the 6th day of December, 2022. At Point Chelling, it is fair. The wind is calm. The barometric pressure is 1012.3 millibars, which is below normal and rising. The present temperature 23.1 degrees Celsius, relative humidity 89%. Yesterday's maximum temperature was 29.5 degrees Celsius and a cool minimum last night of 22 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, no rain fell at the airport. The total for the month remains at 11.7 millimeters. Now for the public forecast for Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique Valley for today and tonight. The weather is expected to be generally fair. Any shower should be light and brief. Today's maximum temperature should reach 30 degrees Celsius. The wind should be northwesterly to northerly at 5 to 15 miles per hour, becoming variable to calm at times. The sea should be slight to moderate with waves 3 to 5 feet in open waters. The public should take note here that a high surf advisory is in effect. The tide is currently falling, will be low at 8:30 a.m. and high at 2:45 p.m. Sunset today 5:42, sunrise tomorrow 6:15. To repeat the forecast, the weather is expected to be generally fair. Any shower should be light and brief. From the Morris Bishop International Airport, Jason Robertson.
Thank you, Jason. Have a great day. This is real. This is 91.9, 91.5, www.realfmgrenada.com. Our time? It's like 25 minutes I make it after the 7 o'clock. Oh, yeah? Don't worry. Everything's going to be all right. Every little thing is going to be all right, yeah. Okay, so... Oh, yeah, I need to do this. Come on, Andre. Do you know?
Ozone really gets it clean. Get with the Ozone family line of products. Ozone liquid laundry detergent. Perfect for your semi or fully automatic washing machines. Yet suitable for your hand wash. Soft on your hands. Ozone Disinfecting Cleaner. It's the most powerful disinfectant and cleaner with a long-lasting fresh scent. Tackles every job around the house or office. Ozone detergent powder and ultra-soft fabric softener gets your clothes clean with a natural freshness. Keeps your colors bright. Choose from the wonderful scents, soft flower, ocean breeze, and the new aloe vera. Keep your kitchen sparkling clean with the Ozone dishwashing liquid, Ozone sponges, and cleaning cloth. Ozone Toilet Bowl Cleaner removes lime scale and kills germs while giving your toilet a refreshing scent. Ozone really gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Calico, Frequente St. George's, and are available at shops and supermarkets nationwide.
Use some holiday cheer. So Christmas is coming early this year. Unwrap the true magic of Christmas on Real FM 91.9 and 91.5. The time of love and giving is here. So come, take advantage of our specially developed packages as we celebrate our 18th anniversary as a media entity. Packages start as low as $500, which guarantees 5 spots per day, Monday to Friday, and bonus spots on Saturdays. Promotion ends January 31st, 2023. Call 442-0975 or email us at real919fm@gmail.com for more information. Don't miss this superb opportunity to get great discounts when you advertise with Real FM.
Sandy's Variety Store, located on Main Street, St. Patrick. That one-of-a-kind store where you can find ladies, men, and children clothing in all sizes and styles. Underwear for men, women, and children. Shoes, sneakers for the whole family. We also carry plus sizes too. One-of-a-kind items where you would only find at Sandy's. And guess what? You won't find more than 3 items that's the same. Sandy's Variety Store. Call us at 418-4769. That number again, 418-4769. Sandy's Variety Store.
The St. Patrick's Anglican Parish Church invites you to their annual pre-Christmas dinner on Friday, December 2nd, 2022 at the St. Patrick's Anglican School Auditorium from 7 p.m. Tickets cost $60 per person. You must be elegantly dressed. Music by White Boy. Remember our black and white dance on Boxing Day.
Northern part of beautiful Grenada, with tentacles stretching through the Caribbean throughout the world. This is your friendly family station for yet another beautiful morning. It's the 6th day of the 12th month. You will never see another Tuesday like this. You bet your bottom dollar on that one.
To get our share.
So remember I said to you that CJ was going in this morning to do her thing, yeah. But it's not like physically in virtual. You know, these days we have this virtual thing. That's a bad thing, but we have this virtual thing these days. Is that a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing. Anyway, let's see if we can add CJ right here. Good morning, CJ. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
What are you not doing?
I'm not sleeping.
How do you know that?
Is that a trick question?
No. How do you know you're not sleeping?
I am speaking and I don't normally speak in my sleep. So there you go.
Okay. You're looking beautiful.
Thank you.
You dressed up for the first time?
I'm not going to answer that.
Okay. Yeah. Be safe and don't answer questions like that.
Exactly.
Okay. So tell us, what you've got in store for the listeners this morning?
This morning, I've got a good friend of mine. Her name is Patricia Tuff, aka Pat. She is a nutritionist, a wellness coach, and she specializes in gut health. She's also trained in aromatherapy, helping others to use essential oils for therapeutic benefits, as well as help her clients to choose good supplements to restore their gut health. So we are going to talk about gut health this morning. A lot of us don't know anything about leaky gut, but whatever she's going to tell us this morning, we're going to get a light bulb is going to go up in a lot of us head, and it's for both men and women.
So what does your gut have to do with your mental health?
Oh,
this is mental health Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if you're sick,
I don't know.
If you're sick, then mentally it's going to hamper you to do whatever it is that you have to do. But I won't let the cat out of the bag yet. Let Pat explain to us what leaky gut can do to our mental health.
When's the last time you saw Pat?
Pat, maybe about 3 years ago, but we speak to each other all the time. Hey, Pat.
Good morning, Claire. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good.
Listen now, what happened? You dropped in the fountain of youth or something?
Well, what can I tell you? I'm aging backwards.
Oh, there you go. Well, good to have you on.
Thank you, Clara. Thanks for having me on. This is awesome.
Good. So my listeners are going to be, I think, and your listeners are going to be listening to what you have to say this morning. So we're going to talk about healing of our guts. Right. And I know it says how good quality, healing our guts means that there is good quality supplements like antioxidants and essential oils, which can help restore your gut. We also can share information about simple habits that you can put into practice right away to help restore our gut health. So let's go. Tell me what you know. Tell me what you have.
Okay, so first of all, I want to talk a little bit about gut imbalance. But before I continue, I must tell you that everything I'm going to tell you today is not trial and error. I know this because I've applied all these things to my own health. Mm-hmm. And in fact, it's made the world a difference. Because I've been able to help myself, I can now help others. So let's talk about gut imbalance. Gut imbalance can cause all kinds of illnesses. Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, said it best when he says, disease begins in the gut. Now, our intestinal tract forms a defensive barrier from what we ingest, what we take in, what we eat, and it prevents harmful substances from reaching the bloodstream. Now, if this barrier is compromised or leaky or has holes in it, then these harmful substances can get past, and that causes inflammation.
So are you referring to, go ahead.
So this is a really important thing to think about, because when we have inflammation, then we get different illnesses or diseases.
So does that refer to the problem that most people call leaky gut?
That is what they call it, Claire. And we know that if this barrier is compromised or leaky, those harmful substances, as I mentioned, can get past. Then we have a cascade of inflammation that can cause all kinds of illnesses. But first, let's talk about the body's burden and how toxins can affect our body and our gut over time. For example, we could think about when a baby's born. You would think that as a newborn infant, that they would be free of any toxins. Well, that may have been the case at one time, but now studies are telling us that the average baby is born with 287 chemicals in their body at birth. Wow. And these chemicals are passed down from the mother. So this is a really important point because we start out with a lot of chemicals. So when you think about it, over time, as we're aging, growing, toxins are building up in our bodies slowly but surely, and we're exposed to more and more of them. So we could think about it like a bucket filling up with water. In this case, it's the body filling up with toxins. Sooner or later, it's going to overflow, and that's what happens to us. Our bodies just can't handle this level of toxins. So when this happens, we have to focus on detoxifying the body. We need to use proper methods of detoxification so that we can get rid of all these toxins, or at least lower the amounts that we're exposed to. Now, I know we have our kidneys and our liver and our different detoxifying organs. We're born with those, and so they should be able to detoxify our body. But the level of toxins that we're exposed to, we can't get rid of them all. The body just has a difficult time coping with it. Now, studies have shown that if we lower the load of toxins that our bodies are exposed to, disease conditions decrease dramatically.
So you're saying eliminating toxins should be a priority for us all?
Absolutely. Everyone should focus on getting rid of toxins. We need to find ways to do this, and it's so important because if we don't decrease the level of toxins in our body, then we're setting ourselves up for all kinds of issues. So there are practical ways that we can do this, Claire. We can use antioxidants, essential oils, supplements. Those things can help in a big way. But, first of all, we need to talk about nutrition and digestion. It's hard to say that word.
I hear you.
Our food has changed dramatically. We've departed from the ways that we're supposed to eat. We don't eat natural things anymore. Most of the foods that we consume are made in a factory. So that's not really a good way to eat. And you know what? We're paying the price for that. Our society is busier than ever. So we end up doing things like eating packaged foods, processed foods, or fast foods from a takeout place because we just don't have the time. Unfortunately, though, that takes a toll on our gut. And then again, we have substances that have been added to our food, like pesticides. They have a tremendous amount of pesticides on the foods we eat today. Then we have GMOs, which is genetically modified organisms. Really, you know what? It's become more about profitability than it is about health.
Quite true.
So what do we have to do? There are things that we can do. We have to make better choices. So how do we do that? We eat a more balanced diet. One is that is richer in vegetables and fruit, things that come from nature. And we know that if we're eating better food, that we can provide what we need, the good bacteria that will help our gut and give us a healthy digestive system. Claire, when you think about processed foods, they contain a lot of sugar, fat, salt, and in addition, when they're processed in a factory, they lose some of the original nutrients that the food had in them. Here's an important point too, Claire, which is why we're talking about mental health today in relationship to the gut. If we focus on restoring our gut health, we can help support our brain.
Are you saying that having a healthy gut can contribute to better mental health?
Absolutely. This really helps us to see why it's so important to keep our gut in good working order. Now, science refers to the gut-brain axis, the two-way connection that we have from the gut to the brain. And research has shown that the gut can directly influence our brain function and our behavior. To explain this a bit further, Claire, science talks about the gut-brain axis, or the two-way connection and communication between the gut and the brain. The gut and the brain are connected through the largest organ we have in our body. It's called the vagus nerve. And this nerve allows the brain to communicate with the gut. It represents the main component of the parasympathetic nervous system, which oversees a vast variety of crucial bodily functions, including the control of mood, immune response, digestion, and heart rate. It establishes one of the connections between the brain and the gastrointestinal tract, and it sends information from the state of the inner organs to the brain. That's pretty amazing information, isn't it?
It is.
So I just want to quote a study that was done by Harvard Health Publishing, and it says in this article, the gut-brain connection. The gut-brain connection is no joke. It can link anxiety to stomach problems and vice versa. Do certain conditions make you feel nauseous? Have you felt butterflies in your stomach? We use these expressions for a reason. The gastrointestinal tract is sensitive to emotion, anger, anxious feelings, sadness, elations. All of these feelings and others can trigger symptoms in the gut. So we can see that the brain has a direct effect on the stomach and the intestines. A troubled intestine can send signals to the brain, just as a troubled brain can send signals to the gut. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, the connection.
Yeah. So a person's stomach or intestinal distress can be caused or be the product of anxious feelings or stress or depression. That's because the brain and the gastrointestinal system, the GI tract, are intimately connected. So, Claire, given how closely the gut and the brain interact, it becomes easier to understand why you might feel nauseated before giving a presentation, like I did earlier, or feel intestinal pain during the time of stress. So we know that when the gut lining is healthy and working the way it should, when it acts as a barrier so that foreign and toxic organisms, bacteria, fungi, viruses, undigested food particles, when it can stop those foreign invaders, then we have better health. Now, if this barrier is weak, it allows these substances to get into the circulatory system, and those that can travel body-wise. And you know what, Claire? This triggers a strong immune cell response. And inflammation develops. The immune system now tries to neutralize, kill, or digest what's entered into the bloodstream. And it's like a battle inside your body. So you can imagine what's going on in there. Now, inflammation can become chronic and affect every organ in the body, including the brain. So we can get brain fog, cognitive slowdown, skin rashes, joint inflammation, bloating, diarrhea, or constipation, and that's just a partial list. So you can see how restoring our gut health is really, really important. But the good news is it's not as complex as it used to be, because we can give our bodies the help it needs with natural products and lifestyle changes that can help to restore the gut imbalance.
So here's a question. What other things can we use to affect the gut in a bad way?
Well, one thing I can think of is food sensitivities. That's another thing that causes problems with your gut. A lot of times people don't think they're sensitive to any foods because they don't have symptoms right away. We could feel it immediately, but sometimes there's a 72-hour delay so that we may eat a specific food and then we don't feel it right away. But after 72 hours, we may feel tired, we may have tension, or just plain feeling upset or guts upset. So these could be linked to food sensitivity. So when someone comes to me with that kind of issue, I recommend that they do a 30-day food sensitivity elimination diet, just to see if a potential food could be causing some of their health issues, even if it's only a minor health issue. Makes sense, right?
A whole lot of sense.
So, something else that I recommend too is for them to keep a food diary, because we forget what we eat from one day to the next. Because if I asked you what you ate last Monday, you probably go, I don't know.
I wouldn't.
Exactly. So when you keep a food diary, you can keep track of what you've been eating, and then you can know for sure, what you ate 72 hours ago, if it's causing the effect that you're having with your gut and with the way that your gut feels. Another way that we can support our gut, Claire, is by eating organic or growing our own food. So that way we're able to limit the amount of pesticides and antibiotics in the foods that we're exposed to. If we're growing our own or buying organic, then we can limit that, and it will help our body to function better. And we can also get rid of some of those toxins a little bit easier.
Okay, so Pat, knowing all of this, what you just said, what in a practical way can we do to heal the gut?
Well, what I recommend to my clients is the 4 R's.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard about that before.
I heard of 2, but what are the other 2?
Well, the 4 R's consist of this. The first R, we would remove the foods that commonly stress the digestive system. So things like sugar, dairy, gluten, grains, processed foods, like we mentioned before. We would also want to make an effort to reduce or remove things like personal care products and household products that contain toxins, maybe swapping them out for things that are non-toxic. Sometimes something as simple as what we put our food in, like plastic containers.
Right.
The plastic can leach into the food, and that can cause all kinds of issues. So we may want to swap that out for a non-toxic version like glass. So that's the first R. The second R is to replace with healers. So we want to go back to the basics, eating more vegetables and fruits, drinking more water, thinking about digestive enzymes, which will help us better absorb the nutrients that are actually in the food. And then the third R is to re-inoculate. That means we would be eating more probiotic-rich foods like sauerkraut, raw cultured vegetables, coconut kefir, kimchi. Another great idea would include a probiotic supplement, a good quality one. This will ensure a good balance of good bacteria to bad, which is optimal for healthy gut microbiome. And then the fourth R would be to rest and restore the gut. So what do we mean by this? We would eat more simply to support the digestive the digestion by allowing adequate times between meals, eating simply, choosing recipes that only have a few ingredients, ingredients that are as close to their natural state as possible, and also cooked very simply. This will help to ease the digestion. So things like purees, smoothies, blended soups, gently cooked food, it's often things that will help to get our gut in good working order. So part of supporting our health is also understanding, Claire, that anything we put in our mouth has to be broken down and processed.
Okay.
So
you mentioned using supplements like oils and so on to help heal the gut. Anything in particular in any of those supplements?
Well, I'll tell you what I use because these are things that have worked for me. So with regard to oils, I used, with regard to enzymes to break down the food, I used Terrazyme, which I can't say enough about this product. It's this one here. It's called Terrazyme. It's a doTERRA product. And if we're having difficulty with our digestive system, then we have to be able to take this in order to get the nutrients out of the foods that we're eating. Even if we're eating a lot of really good food, it's really useless to us if we can't get the nutrients out of the food. And if we're eating a lot of processed foods or heating our foods to high levels, this can cause the enzymes in our foods to become absolutely useless. So, when you say we are what we eat, it's not really what we eat, it's what we absorb that's important. We may be eating all the healthy food that we could possibly buy or cook or grow, but if we're not properly absorbing the nutrients, then it's really not doing us a lot of good. That's where the enzymes come into play, because it's going to break down the protein and the fat and the carbohydrates so that we can actually absorb those good nutrients that we want in order to have a healthier gut.
Okay.
I also recommend my clients take 3 capsules of this each and every meal, because if you're having gut issues, you need that in order to get to the proper place. Another great supplement that I use is called PB Assist. And what this one does is it helps to repopulate the good bacteria in your gut, because often when you have gut inflammation, it's because you have too much of the bad bacteria So you have to be able to top it up, if you will, so that you can have a good level of good to bad.
Mm-hmm.
So it really helps to use those things in order to protect your gut. Now, another powerful product that I've been using is called glutathione. This has been a game changer for me, and this is what it looks like. It's called NutraSwitch, and it plays a role in preventing the leaking, or what's called intestinal permeability.
Okay, I am going to try to say that word. Glutathione, is it?
Perfect.
What is that?
Well, glutathione is an antioxidant, a molecule composed of 3 amino acids. So L-cysteine, glutamic acid, and glycine. When we think of antioxidants, Claire, we may think of vitamin C and vitamin E. Unlike vitamin C and E, glutathione is found naturally in every cell in our body, and it's made in our body, specifically in the liver.
Really? Okay.
It's referred to as the master antioxidant. And without this in our bodies, we would actually die. However, as we age or get sick, our glutathione levels become depleted. So this can be a real game changer for good gut health. So it's important to boost the levels when restoring health and in restoring our gut health and reversing autoimmunity. I could talk about glutathione forever, but we'll have to leave that for another time.
I got you. But this is very interesting. Are there essential oils that can help as well?
Absolutely. There's 3 oils that I'm going to talk about today for digestive health. There's Digest Zen, which is this one. It's called Zengest in the States, but Digest Zen in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And it has, and then there's ginger, which is this one here, and fennel. So these are oils that will help a lot with your digestive issues. And there's others that I could talk about, like cardamom and frankincense, but I just want to highlight those 3 today. Most of my clients already use Digest Zen, and we use it frequently. But I have to highlight it because it's such a powerhouse. It's a blend of different essential oils. And sure, ginger and fennel essential oils are found in this blend, but it also has anise and caraway and tarragon. So it's just a really great blend to support our digestive system and help us, just to digest things better. And it's also very soothing to the digestive tract. So then there's the fennel and the other one is, gotta look, ginger. They're going to help us soothe the digestive tract and help support gut health. It just helps everything to function better. So you can see, Claire, that good gut health affects our entire body, not just our gut, but our brain and every organ in the body. So getting the help we need to have better health, better gut health, is really worth the effort. So I just want to review what we've talked about today because I think it's super important for people to understand how important the gut and the brain are linked. Good health, gut health can keep us healthier overall. And there's a lot that we can do to help with that. So we've discussed the 4 R's, things you can try right away to help you have better health. We talked about how probiotics can help the bacterial levels in our gut, help it to be more constant, not too much bad, not too much good, but at a good level. And then we talked about digestive enzymes that help us use the food in a better way. We also talked about glutathione, which is the master antioxidant that can restore the lining of our gut. Then we talked about fennel. Those are oils that can help us digest Zen, ginger, essential oil, all great ways to help to support our gut health. So really, really important things that we can put into practice right away to help us feel better, look better, and just have overall better health.
So are you telling me that you're looking that way because of the oils and the enzymes and everything that you're using? Because let me tell you, I want to get there too.
Well, you know what? Here's how you can get a hold of me. You can
I
find me.
know how to. Yes.
Well,
You
your
know-
listeners can find me at my email address is pat@patduffs.ca, or you can find me on Facebook. I have a group called Committed to Staying Healthy. It's a group of like-minded people who are all about getting and staying healthy, and just doing things in a better way so that you can look better, you can feel better, and just have a better day.
Yeah. You know the thing, Zengest, I have that oil. I do.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it is good because sometimes, like you say, what we eat, sometimes I eat something that I'm not supposed to, and it bothers my stomach. I take a little drop, stick it in on the, stick my thumb in my top of my gum, and I just let it there. And it's in a few seconds, my stomach is back to its normal. And so I am saying that Zengest is really, really good.
Yeah. You know how I take it? I put it
How?
in I get a shot glass, not with rum in it.
No, that people go think you're drinking alcohol now, is it?
And I put I fill it half with water, and I put in 4 drops in the shot glass, and I just chug it down. It's amazing how quickly that it'll work.
It does, it does.
You know, it's a pretty strong oil, so sometimes taking it that way would be better. Then you don't have to taste it as much, you know, but it still does the job.
It does. Another thing that I got, Pat, from you, so let me see if I could say that word. Your names are really hard to Copaiba. Let me tell you something about it. It's not to do with your gut, but you know, I go to bed every night to go to sleep, and like 2 times out of 3, Charlie and his horse visits me. I don't know the name of Charlie's horse, to be quite honest, but Charlie and his horse visit me in bed. And that bottle with that, I have it like it's in my room there because it stays on my bed. I just tip the bottle over. There's a roller thing on it, and I roll it on the pain where my cramps are. Massage that in a few seconds. Charlie and his horse is gone, and I am back. So there are oils out there that can really, really help you to get. So people, what she's saying is no joke because I use some of her oils, and they are good.
They're like magic in a bottle, right?
It is. So if you want to get in touch with Pat, she gave her email address and she says she's on Facebook. But hey, I am here. You can get to her through me also because
absolutely.
Yeah. And thank you so very much for taking my accepting my invite to talk about gut health, because a lot of us walk around not knowing that what is going on with us, because sometimes we eat stuff and we say, oh, my stomach is so bloated. We have no idea what's going on, but at least you let us know a lot of things that we are doing that is wrong. Well, not wrong per se, but we are doing that is going to help us to do better in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Our time, and thanks to your listeners for tuning in as well.
Well, hopefully I'll get you not too much in the distant future, because I know we have more to talk about.
Well, I'm sure we do.
Take care now.
Take care, Claire. Bye.
Later. Okay, bye-bye. So everyone, this was Pat Tuff from my neck of the woods. I guess you all know that I'm back in Canada, living in Toronto. Pat is living in Copetown. It's a distance to get to her, but as you see, what going viral can do here. We're on the system and everybody can listen to one another way back in Australia, in New Zealand, wherever it is that we can speak to each other. And I'm really happy that she came, and hopefully some things that she said about what we can do to protect ourselves from having leaky gut is going to help us to eat better. She talks about eating fruits and vegetables, a whole lot of it. So going back to basic, because I'm telling you, it is going to be helping you a whole lot. So we had Pat for 7 to 8. I'm not sure if my other guest is there. If you are there, let me know. We're going to continue talking. Maybe we should take a commercial break and then we'll be right back.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway, St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials, including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel, and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, insect screens, and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&N Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices, or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&N Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Ozone really gets it clean. Get with the Ozone family line of products. Ozone liquid laundry detergent, perfect for your semi or fully automatic washing machines, yet suitable for your hand wash, soft on your hands. Ozone disinfectant cleaner. It's the most powerful disinfectant and cleaner with a long-lasting fresh scent. Tackles every job around the house or office. Ozone detergent powder and ultra soft fabric softener gets your clothes clean with a natural freshness, keeps your colors bright. Choose from the wonderful scents: soft flower, ocean breeze, and the new aloe vera. Keep your kitchen sparkling clean with the Ozone dishwashing liquid, Ozone sponges, and cleaning cloth. Ozone toilet bowl cleaner removes lime scale and kills germs while giving your toilet a refreshing scent. Ozone really gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Calico, Frequente St. George's, and are available at shops and supermarkets nationwide.
The Christmas breeze is blowing at Dominic's shopping centers. In Fun City, Guava, Santa has brought everything you need this Christmas, including greeting cards, floor coverings, mats and rugs, mattresses, bed sheets, pillows and cases, a variety of household items, pots and pans, glass sets, mixers, blenders, toys, flowers, electronics including radios, Bluetooth battery speakers with lights and hi-fi, 4 and 6 burner stoves and refrigerators, washing machines, and much more. We have clothing and accessories for the whole family. Extra opening hours for the Christmas season are Sunday 18th December. We will be open from 9 to 5 p.m. Call or visit us today on 444-8804 Lance or 444-9221 Down Street. Best wishes for the Christmas and a prosperous 2023. Dominic Shopping Center, the best in the West. It keeps getting better.
Now more than ever, Flow is working hard to keep you connected to the things that matter most. Your family, your work, and your favorite entertainment. We are also providing Flow Study free of charge so students can stay connected and up to date with their schoolwork. And because your safety is our highest priority, you can manage your account from the safety of your own home through the MyFlow app. We are here for you, keeping you connected.
We can all use some holiday cheer, so Christmas is coming early this year. Unwrap the true magic of Christmas on Real FM 91.9 and 91.5. The time of love and giving is here, so come, take advantage of our specially developed packages as we celebrate our 18th anniversary as a media entity. Packages start as low as $500, which guarantees 5 spots per day, Monday to Friday, and bonus spots on Saturdays. Promotion ends January 31st, 2023. Call 442-0975 or email us at real919fm@gmail.com for more information. Don't miss this superb opportunity to get great discounts when you advertise with Real FM.
Sandy's Variety Store, located on Main Street, St. Patrick. That one-of-a-kind store where you can find ladies, men, and children clothing in all sizes and styles. underwear for men, women, and children, shoes, sneakers for the whole family. We also carry plus sizes too. One-of-a-kind items where you would only find at Sandy's. And guess what? You won't find more than 3 items that's the same. Sandy's Variety Store. Call us at 418-4769. That number again, 418-4769. Sandy's Variety Store.
Hey now, listen to this and listen carefully. At Low Tungsten Terrace is the best little seafood restaurant on this lovely island. Bacon shark, steamed fish, fish and chips, and the daily catch, whatever that may be, we have it for you. To complement this, you can have the most tasty sorrel, golden apple, ginger, and passion fruit drinks, all locally made, just as you know it to taste. As you visit our restaurant, take some time to browse through our super convenience store, where you will find an item which has not been seen for so long. We offer you the best prices on t-shirts and unisex vests, casual and dress shirts, and the widest range of body oils. For whatever the occasion, find the fragrance, be it male or female. For you and only you, we have a wide variety of headphones and chargers. So here's what: visit for the food, the bar, or the store, and stay for the others, because you never know what surprise is in store for you. We're open from 9 to 9, Monday to Saturday. Sunset Restaurant.
Where you walk, what you say, when you talk, where you go, where you walk, what you say, when you talk.
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what they'll do. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Where you go when you're walking, what you say when you're talking. You gotta be careful.
And good morning again. Morning, Jester.
Good morning to you, Claire.
And
good
Justin,
morning to, let me say
go
good
ahead.
morning to the listeners and viewers of Real 91.9.
Okay. So just in case, when I introduced who Pat was before we started, I'll say it again. Pat is a nutrition and wellness coach. She specializes in gut health. She has been coaching for the past 7 years. She's also trained in aromatherapy. That means helping others to use essential oils for therapeutic benefits, as well as she helps clients choose good quality supplements to help in your gut health. So this is what Pat does, and that's what she spoke about this morning, gut health, which includes leaky gut. So if you need to find her, she's a Pat at pattofts.ca, or you can get her through me, as I said before. So just the what gives.
Well, Claire, the little that I heard, it was quite a mouthful this morning from this lady, man, which makes so much sense, you know. Quite a lot, you know. She spoke of gut-brain access, food sensitivities, food sensitivity elimination diet, you know, and she make mention of keeping track of what you eat, you know, eating organic food, just a few that I took note of. So that is just so much, you know, for us to digest, really.
Well, yeah, it's all about
so,
digestion, you know, you get it, you know. So, you know, one thing she said, sorry, we're having a...
One thing that she said, what I took particular note about is not just so much of what you eat, it's about the absorption. Yeah, the absorption of
that is what I was going to come back and say. It's not
what
we always say, what we eat.
So reading my mind well.
Yes, that I can do. So we have just about. Are you hearing an echo? Because I'm hearing myself way in the back.
I'm not sure. I'm not hearing no echo really.
Well, it's me. My thing is echoing. So so we come from the gut, and we're going to another important thing which can cause mental health. It is the month of December. Everybody is thinking about Christmas, Santa Claus, what they have to get for their loved one, what they have to get for their relatives, what they have to get for their friends, and this can cause mental health in everybody that participates in this. So what I want to ask this morning is, how much of the December syndrome are we going to indulge ourselves in? So when January comes by, that we are so sick mentally of what we did, how much we spent, that is going to make us get really, really, really troubled and cause death and sickness in some of us. In my experience living here in Canada, people go through December like a freight train. They forget that the Visa, the MasterCard, the American Express, the Capital One, all those card people out there, they give you those cards and they says, okay, go, spend it. But we forget that we have to pay that bill at the end of every month. And when we knock ourselves out shopping in December and January comes and we have to pay that bill, guess what happens? You look around, you look up, you look down because you have no savings, you did not budget for that. And guess what? A whole lot of the times we are on the train stops because somebody jumped. Somebody put themselves in the jump over a bridge and all this. So mentally, I'm asking us, not only Grenadians, everybody that is listening, curb your spending for this month of December. Do not go buying things for people that do not appreciate it. Do not go spending money that you do not have. Do not do any of those stuff, because at the end of the day, it is not going to be beneficial for you, your family, or anybody else. Jester, what's your take on this?
Well, Clay, you're quite right about that. December is the month, the Christmas, and that is the time that most of our store owners, they put out themselves to get a number of attractive items. And many of us, quite a number of us, we find it difficult to resist, purchasing some of the unwanted, in some instances, not necessary, purchasing, it's not, they don't purchase on a need basis. It's more or less on a want basis. And that should be making a difference, whether you really need as above want. And that is what has put on the financial burden on some families.
I think what the people that are going out there to shop for gifts, every to each its own. You want to go shop for something to give somebody, that's up to you. This is what you want to do. But I think that if you're going to do this, make a list of the things that you're going to buy, who you're going to buy it for, and how much you can spend before you walk out that door. You make a list and you stick to that list. Because if you don't, as you say, the store owners, they put things out there to attract everybody around this time. You have your table, or you have your tablecloth that is working for you for 11 months of the year. When December comes, it's like the tablecloth is no longer good. The mat in front of your door is no longer good. You just buy things because it is the season. And that doesn't necessarily mean that is the best thing for you to do, because everybody says after December, January is the hardest month. It doesn't have to be hard if you budget, or if you stop wanting and go for needing. Because I look at it just that you like you say, you go buy everything that you want. And we all know that want has no end. We all want stuff, and we always will want stuff. But try to think about what you need. And if the need that you have is to support you and your family, then do that. Forget about what you have to buy for Jester, what you have to buy for Claire, what you have to buy for anybody else. Because we have been surviving for the past 11 months without any of the things that you're thinking about going and buy for us. Am I right or am I wrong? Your mic is off.
No, it's not. Claire, it's just a sort of perception of our people that from the time November approaches, just in November, everybody want whatever they have to do is for the Christmas. And so it puts a strain on a number of people, even me within my profession, you know. And sometimes I wonder why people would live actually the whole year run out, and they wait just coming around the ending of the year to want something be done, which they knew, they've been seeing it, they know that they have to do it, but yet they wait just for the month of December, and they want it for the Christmas.
It could be that this is around the time that they get some money from some relatives of theirs. It could be that, or it could be that everybody wants to spruce up their house, their yard, and everything. But you cannot let your things go for 11 months and just November, December bring it back to new, because it costs you more money doing it that way, I think.
Claire, between you and I, well, a lot of people listening to it. Certain aspect about preparation for Christmas, I really don't like, you know, honestly. In preparation leading up to Christmas, that's the time when a number of people, they don't eat a good piece of food in the house, you know. The housewife, they wait around this time to pull down all the curtains, to pull down all the ornaments, to clean, and they don't even take time to cook up a good piece of food in the house. Sometimes you, as the husband in the house or the man of the house, sometimes you might have to rely on eating some bread and cheese and trees.
Everybody gone crazy. I understand.
We have a caller online, Claire.
Go ahead.
Take that call. Good morning, caller.
Yes, caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
We have to remember the importance of Christmas in our own Christian society. You have a number of religious people that put real emphasis on Christmas. If you are practicing Catholic or Anglican or Methodist, you may not imagine the amount of activities that you have for Christmas. For instance, we have Advent now going on. So preparation is being made. In addition to that, based upon all the economic and the year, Christmas is a period of time serious influence. So in yesterday,
you're breaking up a bit.
Christmas time come, they would have more finances. So even though they want to do something, people tend to be more generous around Christmas time. So more gift giving, and people tend to assist the less fortunate. So for the preparation and anxiety and all what goes on with it is because of the religious significance and the financial situation and the generosity of people around that time.
Okay.
Thank you very much, caller, for your contribution. Okay. Clay, it makes a lot of sense with what he said.
Yes, as I said.
Traditionally, that's what it is, you know. But Do you think that people are so much generous in giving and sharing as it used to in the past, Claire?
Nope, not at all. Because you see, the thing is, as the caller said, that yes, you get some assistance around this time because people tend to want to send you, if they never send any money to you from January to November, because of tradition, around December, they will send you some money. So people have a little more money in their hand in in December, traditionally. But we have seen in the past few years, going through COVID, going through everything, a lot of people have lost their jobs. People are still losing their jobs. So it's not as lucrative as it was in the years gone by. So that's why I'm saying people are now have to curb their spending, because if I used to send you $300 in the years gone by, Jester, now I may be able to send you 50, because other things are into play right now, and I do not have that amount of money anymore because I may not have a job, and the $50 I'm sending you may be coming from my savings that I have in the bank. You understand? So I know years ago people used to just sit maybe and wait because they know that this is going to come at Christmas, but you cannot do that anymore because times have changed. People are without jobs. Things are getting tougher. If you go to the grocery store these days, when you come from the grocery store, your bag is, you can hold it on your pointer finger here and you pay over $500 for the groceries in it. So, we have to make a 180 in how we think about what we do in the month of December. Because as you said, January comes by and January is not being pleasant to a whole lot of us. That's your cue.
Wait, let me tell you something.
Uh-huh.
I remember about maybe around 25 years ago, my sister decided to send a barrel for me. During them days, that agency you had to pick up that paper was somewhere on Hillsborough Street. I can't remember exactly what agency it was. And that was coming close to Christmas. Watch. From it started there, I vow never, ever to send me no barrel around that time of the year again.
I know.
Because watch, that was just one process. The amount of people that was there, they fight to get that document. But don't talk about when you reach down on the port. The other, nah. I can't. Since that, she knows definitely I'm not interested in no barrel coming around this time of the year. Forget that. So it's just to emphasize the point of which people have placed the emphasis of sending things just coming around Christmas, and such chaos can happen at around this time when it comes to that.
That's the thing. And like you said, just around the Christmas, the other months of the year, we still have to eat. We still have to do all these things. You can send a barrel or whatever it is during the earlier part of the year and say to the person, hey, what I'm sending here could last you or should last you until around the time that the festive season. Because there are a lot of things that you can leave to hang on to for that. If you want to send a ham for somebody for December, you can actually send the ham in June also, and they hold it until December comes by. So you don't have to put yourself, because they are putting themselves under pressure also to send it around that time. And the pressure is on you now, as you said, to go fight for it in customs. So it's a lot of mental stress that is going to, because you just said that, you make a vote never for anybody to send barrel for you, because mentally it scarred you. You were mentally scarred by having to go and fight for that barrel at customs. And it's a yearly thing. I'm sure now if anybody goes to customs right now, the amount of barrels that are coming in and the amount of people that are going there to collect the barrel, it is like, I don't want to do this.
No, I don't want to be through this at all.
Yeah. I remember growing up, and let me tell you, I was a kind of bad person when this Christmas come, because I remember you had to, as you say, pull on all the cutting. all the cards that you get from the year before, all that comes down. The cobwebbing and so. And you have to take out all the glasses and everything according to they call it in the safe. We did at that time with everybody calling it the safe. So it's safe
Yeah.
inside there. And get this. You cannot go to there and get a glass and drinks from it if you want to, because it's for when the strangers come. I don't know where the strangers was coming from, but it's when the strangers come. And every year, same routine. We go through this, the cleaning of the thing, the cobweb and the painting. This thing. At one time, I started breaking a glass every now and again, because I said, I don't want to do this anymore. So I break a glass that I think she had there for the stranger. After that, I didn't get to clean anyway because I keep breaking glasses. That was my way of saying, I don't want to do this. And I can't say, I don't want to do this anymore because I'm going to get the blows. So I'm breaking a glass here, I'm breaking a glass there, and after, don't touch anything. So from then on, I didn't like Christmas because it was so much work, and come Christmas Eve night, you're on your knees shining that floor with the polish, and you're putting up the curtains and the windows and everything is shining, and you still cannot get a piece of cake the next day when you want it because it's again for the stranger. So Christmas had a bad connotation for me. I really actually didn't care about it after a while. So that's the reason why I am saying Merry Christmas. No, it is not. And then again, when you go and you spend all this money, Jester, and then something important comes up in January, what do? What happens? Because you spend everything that you had to buy gifts for people that you do not like, people that don't like you, people that when you give them that gift, they don't appreciate it. So people that re-gift the gift that you give them, people that go to the store. If you buy them something for $20 and they happen to give you something for $40, they go to the store and price it and say, "Oh, I buy something for $40 and this is what she give me for $20," and they pelt it in a corner. It's a lot of stress going through this Christmas thing, and people have to really have to rethink how they go about spending their money.
That's true. But let's just get back to where we started off this morning when it comes to what we eat at around this time. And from over the years, I always hear our Ministry of Health officials, people in the health sector, urging our people to be careful as to how they eat, in what proportion they consume things at around this time of the year. But some of our people, we do make our heads very hard, I don't know if they feel it's that special time, and no matter what, they wouldn't resist eating the salt ham, they wouldn't eat in the amount of cake. And then after that, so people who suffer with high blood pressure and diabetes, they find themselves getting more sick as a result of consuming all these things during the Christmas season. And that is an issue, because we do overeat. We overeat and overdrink and put pressure on our system, Claire. That happens.
Yes.
That happens. Yeah.
Some of us are on a seafood diet. We seafood and we just eat. There's no end to what we eat. We just eat because it's in front of us. And as Pat mentioned this morning, it's not about what we eat. We are not what we eat, it's what we absorb. So if we cannot control the portions of what we eat, then we're in big trouble. As you say, we put a strain on our system to have to break down that amount of food which we consume. There's no wrong in, you're celebrating your Christmas and you want to eat the ham and you want to eat the pork and you want to eat the beef and everything else. You want to eat the bacon and everything. But everything has its limits and everything should be eaten in moderation. Moderation. You cannot go filling up your plate that high because it's Christmas and you get everything to eat. Because I know I've seen people eat and afterwards it's like, oh my gosh, I can't move. My stomach is so heavy. You should not be eating to feel that way any time at all in your life. Because I put that down to gluttony. Because you eat because you see the food. You do not eat because you were hungry. And even though you're hungry, you still eat small portions and you can go back for more if you want. Not just eat helter skelter and put the pressure on your body, and then you put the pressure on the health system because you end up in the hospital and you have to be looked after. So we are what we absorb. And if we absorb the proper foods and put our health in perspective, we will do better.
Most definitely, Claire. How
What?
But I wasn't hearing audio on through the headphone as well.
Okay.
Claire.
Yes.
Your guest this morning made mention of keeping track of what you eat.
Mm-hmm.
Would you think that how would you consider it? Would it be an easy or difficult task to do?
It's not a difficult task to do because most of us has notebooks and most of us has refrigerators. So what you do what you're going to have for breakfast or what you have for breakfast, you write down date today, December 6th. Smoothie includes cucumbers, carrots, banana, whatever it is that you had in your smoothie. If after you drink that, you have that smoothie, your stomach starts feeling funny, then you know you have to start eliminating whether it's the banana that caused it to your stomach to go funny because of the acid in it, or if it's the cucumbers, or if it's whatever you put in there, you eliminate that. So then when you do it, you remove one every day. And when you get down to the one, say cucumber and whatever you had is settling, then you know banana and carrots is not part of your thing because it's bothering your stomach. So it's a sense of elimination. So it's not hard. You just write down it's like a food guide. Like when you go to do your electrical work, you write down what you need to go do your plugs or your whatever you call that thingy that you stick on the wall. You write down
Your
that you know
socket outlets, yeah.
Right. You know what you need. So when you go there, you have all that. If you don't have something that you need there, you will go get it, right? So it's a process of elimination. You write down what you eat, and then you would know what makes you feel good or what makes you feel bad. It is not hard because we make notes of a lot of things in our lives. So food is where you start because that is the fuel for your body.
Yeah. What I realized from what she said this morning, the killer food is the processed foods,
Mm-hmm.
and which we tend to consume quite a lot of in our society, Claire.
Yes. And I am so happy that she said that because we think that, we eat fast food because everybody is so busy these days, so we eat things on the run. But eating it on the run is still causing us to be sick because if you look at, she says there are a lot of pesticides in food these days and a lot of genetically modified organisms, GMOs. And this is what make our food grow so fast. And this is why they say that if you're going to eat, you can eat all the amount of food you want. But if you notice, they do not put a lot of nutrients in the food anymore because everything is growing real fast. In 6 weeks, you will have corn. In 6 weeks, you will have this. So we are losing the nutrients and the supplements that is going to keep us healthy. So that's why she's stressed about taking supplements these days, because we have to help the rest of the food that we eat. And if we continue to eat processed food, it will show on our body sooner or later. I haven't seen her in 3 or 4 years because we speak a lot, but I haven't seen her. And I mean, she looks really good because I know she takes care of herself with all the organic food that she eats. As we say, we don't put any junk in our trunk. That is what we stick. We don't put junk in our trunk. You understand? So I try to eat as healthy as possible, and she does. And a lot of people that I know in my circle, we try to eat healthy as possible and stay away from the processed food. McDonald's and Kentucky and all these things is not food that I really partake in.
But actually, Claire, we Grenadians, generally speaking,
Mhm.
we consume way too much things like sugar, salt,
Mhm.
like a lot of grease,
Mhm. Mhm.
fats,
Mhm.
oils, and
Yes.
I guess as much when some of the causes of our sicknesses and deaths are resulting of these sort of bad habits in a sense. We believe that sweet is taste, you know. We're not
Fat.
realizing that taste is all about flavors and not really you don't drunk thing with sugar and tell yourself, well, it tastes good. And we're not getting into that. Too much salt and, you know, and
Let me tell
that
you
is really, really
something.
killing us.
If you don't cook with salt, or if you use a minimal amount of salt, and you go to let's say you go to buy food somewhere, the first thing that comes at you is salt. You taste it, you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot eat that. It is too salt, because your body is not used to eating all that salt, and it's harmful for you regardless of what we think. Sugar, salt. There are other things that you can do instead of taking all the sugar. And our bodies, let me tell you how bad our body is to us. If we continue eating sugar and all that stuff, after a while, our body gets to crave it. Whether we want it or not, we want to eat something sweet because our body will become addictive to it. Take, for example, the pops that we drink, or soda, or how we call it, sweet drink at home, like Fanta and Coke and so. These things are filled with sugar. And you drink that because you're thirsty. And on top of that, you have to drink water to quench the thirst from that amount of sugar that you have. I'm not saying that you cannot have a drink, and I'm not saying that you cannot have a slice of cake or anything. I'm not saying that at all. But is the amount that we eat at one time. And if you eat it every day, definitely it's going to have an impact on your health. Definitely.
Most definitely, clear. And then again, some people might able to consume more of this thing depending on the rate of physical activities. So if somebody is very, very active, they do work out a lot, they sweat a lot, they work hard, you might quicker stand a chance of really. But if you sit back and you don't really exercise, you don't work out, because some people from their home to the bus to the workplace and vice versa, but yet the kind of foods that they consume on a daily basis, then you must have problems later on though.
I am years ago, I used to always say to people that we in Grenada, we are good because we walk everywhere, you move. Now, in the past few years, listening to the health department and people that are into food and nutrition, they have started saying that Grenadians are becoming an obese society. And it's no joke. You look at young people walking the street and you're wondering, well, are they eating? And obesity is a real serious problem. It's worldwide. Because what we continue to eat and what we continue to consume and what we continue to, not, as you said, no one is moving, no one is exercising. Everybody moves from their home to the bus, to the car, everybody drives. People forget about how to walk to get the system moving. And like you can eat, I always say you can eat anything you want, but if you are not moving, it's going to be detrimental to your health. You got to move. And again, even though we are eating healthy, that most of us say we are eating healthy, eating and exercising comes together. So if you're just eating and you're not moving, forget about it. You have to move.
Claire, the thing is, I have known quite a number of good athletes in the different sporting disciplines, right? Be it football, cricket, athletics, and who was very slim and trim, as they usually say, was really excellent in representing the schools, the clubs. And when I see them now, some of them, I was like, how did that happen? You know, such huge trunk in front of them, because I know from the time you start, that belly start extending, you are starting to feel uncomfortable. I know that for a fact. So they too would have been experiencing it, but yet still, they leave it go on until it reached to that point. I mean, it's amazing. I don't understand how they allow that to happen. You know.
Right, we have about 4 minutes left before we wrap up. Okay, so we're going to continue next week with this, but I think that happens just because for a long period of time they were, they were starved from eating what they wanted to eat, because they were an athlete. They were regimented in what they eat. So when they stop running or they stop doing whatever it is, participating in whatever sport, it became open season for me to eat whatever I want. But I always say you could eat whatever you want, but still do a little bit of movement. It's going to help. Because once you start going through buying bigger clothes and buying bigger clothes, you're gone. You have to learn to contain yourself and don't eat everything. Don't go on the seafood diet. Don't eat everything you see because it's in front of you. Still contain yourself and eat in proportion. Eat smaller portions than what you're used to. And you can come back to what you wanted to come back to. You have 2 minutes to wrap up.
Well, Claire, I must say that I was very much impressed with your guest this morning, and in really enlightening us as to what we eat, how we eat. You know, she make mention of the toxic kind of food, and we had to find a way of detoxing our bodies. So it was quite a lot, you know. And personally, I through you, I would request a list, but you will know of it. So I just want to thank your guest so much for enlightening us this morning. And let me say thank you very much to our viewers and listeners for taking the time off to listen to us this morning. I'm pretty sure that they would have learned and appreciate quite a lot of what was said here this morning on the program.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I can see if I can get her back at some time in the near future, because like I said, we keep in touch with each other a whole lot because we're on this health thing. So I'd also like to say thank you to everyone that listened. Hopefully something that she said make a difference to you, and then you're going to start eating better and doing better for your gut, because your gut is part of your mental health. And of course, we are dealing with Mental Health Tuesday. So I'll see you all next week, hopefully via this medium again. And I'm going to enjoy my cold weather while you, Jester, enjoy the heat. You can send me some sunshine in a bottle. Ciao, everybody, and take care.
Bye.
Bye.
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing, birds of prey waiting to swoop down on you, and there's no telling what they'll do. You gotta be careful.
Ozone really gets it clean. Get with the Ozone family line of products. Ozone liquid laundry detergent, perfect for your semi or fully automatic washing machines, yet suitable for your hand wash, soft on your hands. Ozone disinfecting cleaner. It's the most powerful disinfectant and cleaner with a long-lasting fresh scent. tackles every job around the house or office. Ozone detergent powder and ultra soft fabric softener gets your clothes clean with a natural freshness, keeps your colors bright. Choose from the wonderful scents, soft flower, ocean breeze, and the new aloe vera. Keep your kitchen sparkling clean with the Ozone dishwashing liquid, Ozone sponges, and cleaning cloth. Ozone toilet bowl cleaner removes lime scale and kills germs while giving your toilet a refreshing scent. Ozone really gets it clean. Marketed and distributed by Calico, Frequente St. George's, and are available at shops and supermarkets nationwide.
Some holiday cheer. So Christmas is coming early this year. Unwrap the true magic of Christmas on Real FM 91.9 and 91.5. The time of love and giving is here. So come, take advantage of our specially developed packages as we celebrate our 18th anniversary as a media entity. Packages start as low as $500, which guarantees 5 spots per day, Monday to Friday, and bonus spots on Saturdays. Promotion ends January 31st, 2023. Call 442-0975 or email us at real919fm@gmail.com for more information. Don't miss this superb opportunity to get great discounts when you advertise with Real FM.
This is Real 91.9, 91.5, www.drealfmgrenada.com. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Caribbean. Good morning to the WORLD. Thanks to Jester, CJ, and her guest, Patricia, for a wonderful program this morning. Well, one of the reasons why they did wrap up earlier is that I had to have... remember yesterday I spoke about an interview that I had to have, and then there was some sort of a mix-up. I was calling a number, there wasn't getting any responses. Whatever mix-up took place, I decided, this thing cannot get the better of me, I'm just like that most of the times. Things don't get the better of me like that. No sorry, no. So, I decided I was going to reach out to the person again, and bang, found them. Dr. Terence Marshall, good morning.
Good morning, Andre.
How are you, sir?
Well, a little bit under the weather, but I'm good. I'm good besides that.
That's very interesting. I never know doctors got sick.
Oh, we do, especially we do, especially when we see a lot of sick people.
I guess. Okay.
We're dealing with all these viruses and things, especially at this time when there's a lot of, cold and things going around,
Mm-hmm. But generally, what would we have not gotten to what we're going to talk about yet, but what would you tell someone in relation to the viruses that's going on, the cold and the flu? What's a general advice you would give that they don't have to pay for?
Well, you have to know the difference between the common cold and the flu, first of all, The common cold, you just get a little bit of runny nose and coughing and that kind of thing, maybe a little sore throat. The flu now, you'd have it in a more serious way. You have all those symptoms that I just mentioned, but you also have a lot of body aches and pains and fever and all of that, something that would probably keep you in bed. Weakness and frustration, that kind of thing. So that one is a little bit more serious.
Okay.
If you again remember that it's a virus that is causing both of them, and because it's a virus, you can't use antibiotics. People want to use antibiotics for every single thing that comes around that resembles a cold, but sometimes you need antibiotics, but most of the time it's just a virus. So it's just drinking a lot of fluids and doing symptomatic treatment. If you have a fever, you take something for the fever. If you have a cough, you take something for the cough. If you have a runny nose or stuffy nose, you take something for that congestion. And, lots of fluids, and especially vitamin C.
All right. Well, with all that information, I have a feeling that I need to do a program reflecting medicine here. But don't worry, we'll talk about that another time. Doc, what I want to talk to you about this morning is a historic occasion in Grenada where the now president of Cuba, President Diaz, is on a trip throughout the Caribbean, and Grenada is one of his stops. What can you tell us about that?
Well, that is indeed true. In fact, he's just wrapping up his visit to St. Vincent, where he was yesterday, and he'll be going to Barbados and then coming to Grenada. So tomorrow he'll be in Grenada. And for us, it's a very historic visit because, as you know, the last time we had such a distinguished visitor from Cuba coming to Grenada was when the Commander-in-Chief, Fidel Castro, visited Grenada on the 3rd of August, 1998, and was very, very well received here in Grenada. And so having the new president, someone who was not part of that Castro era and, as a brand new kind of person, but still continuing in the same tradition as Fidel, and to have him here in Grenada, someone who has continued, all of the cooperation and solidarity with Grenada in the same way that Fidel has. So to have somebody like that in Grenada, to be able to see him in person and to thank him for all that they have done for Grenada and continue to do, I think it's a wonderful occasion, and we're really looking forward to that.
You have Commander-in-Chief, as you spoke about, Fidel Castro. And of course, after him, it was his brother Raul,
right.
who was the president. And there's a very interesting point that you made there, and probably some people it just went straight past them. But let me come back to it. Fidel and Raul, they both would have known what it was and what it was to fight for what they believed in and achieve. However, President Diaz, as you said, is not part of that clique, if I can call it that.
Right. He's not at all. The guys who fought in the Sierra Maestra and in the mountains in Cuba, and then triumphantly came into Havana on the 1st of January 1959. Those are a different breed of people because, they took up arms and they fought against the Batista regime and finally overthrew him, and then built a system that, is second to none in terms of what they've been able to achieve over the years. And all this despite this criminal economic blockade that has lasted for the entire life of the revolution in Cuba. So Diaz is not part of that. He grew up in the mold of I would say the sons and daughters of the revolution. So he knows fully well, what the Fidel represented for the Cuban people, and he knows fully well what the Cuban Revolution also means, not just for Cubans in Cuba, but for so many people all over the world that Cuba have been able to assist, despite all of the difficulties and despite the blockade.
Now, before we go to what this trip would mean to the Caribbean, or what this trip means to the Caribbean at this time, what do you think the Cuban government is trying to achieve here? What would you say that they are trying to achieve?
Well, every effort at this particular point in time is being made to isolate Cuba in every sense of the word, economically, culturally, socially, politically, and for no just reason, because Cuba has a legitimate right to be a part of the international community like everybody else. Now, one could have made a case for this kind of behavior during the period of the Cold War. But the Cold War ended since 1991, and right now, to continue this anachronistic policy of isolating Cuba for what? It's just incomprehensible, There was a little opening under the Obama era, and as soon as Trump came in, I guess because they saw that immediately with that little opening, the tremendous progress that was made in that very short space of time in 1 year, they decided, no way we could continue to allow these people to thrive, because now it's making us look bad in a sense, And so he cut back everything. Not only just cut back everything, all the flights that used to go and all the cruise ships that were starting to go into Cuba, the thousands of Americans that began to go and taste what they call the forbidden fruit. Because, Cuba, it was prohibited to travel to Cuba in all these years. Mm-hmm. Suddenly they decided, no, things are happening too fast. And then not only did they cut back on all of the flights and all of the cruise ships and all of that, but also put Cuba on a list unjustly so, because there's no evidence of state sponsors of terrorism. Cuba is not a sponsor of terrorism. They have never been, and in fact, they have been victims of terrorism when, for 60 years, what America is doing against Cuba is actual terrorism. And also, they were victims of this plane, the Cubana airline plane in 1976, off of Barbados, that was bombed by CIA agents. You see? So they're not, far from being a sponsor of terrorism, they are victims of terrorism. Quite the opposite.
So tell us about the visit now. He comes in, as you say, he comes in tomorrow, God's will, and what happens then?
Well, yes, we'll have the official visits with the Prime Minister and Ministers of Government. I think there's going to be a reception tomorrow night at one of the hotels. And then there's the solidarity activity, which I myself and our solidarity group is involved in, where we're going to have a solidarity activity at the Grenada Trade Center, the annex part of it, tomorrow afternoon beginning at 5 o'clock. And we want this to be a very punctual kind of activity, because he has other activities to attend following that activity in the Trade Center. So we hope that we're going to be able to give him a rousing and a hearty welcome, a real Grenadian welcome. And we're going to have little speeches. Honorable Peter David, the representative of the Tonga St. George, he'll be in attendance. And all of the support. We invited people from all spectra, the Cuban graduates at all levels, whether you are university, middle level, or technical, are invited to come. The solidarity people who have over the years shown solidarity with Cuba, and all the supporters of Cuba, those who, I think like yourself, who receive medical assistance in Cuba. We'd like people like that to come out and be part of that that wonderful activity. I think, we hope we can really give them an impressive turnout, and also a real hearty welcome.
Even as you mentioned there, people like myself, I got some goosebumps there, because I can never forget when I was taken from my room to the theater, and there are 3 doctors in there and 2 nurses, and one doctor, whom I assumed to be the head, he said to me, "Where are you from?" I says, "Grenada." And he says, "Morris Bishop country?" And I smiled. I smiled. And then he turned to the others and he said, "Let's get to work." That was, I tell you something, that was the only time, not the only time, but that was one of those occasions. I love the name Morris Bishop because it just like opened all the doors. It's just like, oh, okay, fine, that's Morris Bishop country. Let's get to work. And that was really, really nice. So I will really and truly try my best. But the thing about it here is Doc, why is it so low keyed? What's going on?
Well, you have to remember, this is a head of state, but not just another head of state, Even in the time of Fidel, every time he had to go somewhere, there's a lot of advanced planning and for really security reasons, because remember, there have been over 100 attempts on Fidel's life during the time that he was the leader of Cuba. And the reason that he was able to survive all of these attempts and go on to a ripe old age and die in his bed was purely because of the level of security around him by the Cuban security forces. So a lot of it is low-key simply because of what Cuba represents for the enemies of Cuba. Whether is in the region or wherever it is. So I guess a lot has to do with the security around him. His visit to the Caribbean, to these islands, was publicized, but not in a broad way, And I suppose that accounts for it, because we ourselves, we couldn't, even though we may have had some kind of advance notice that he was going to be coming here, we were not able to publicize it until such time we had to get the word in a sense, to be able to publicize it when we did.
Cuba has given us so much and continues to give to us, especially in the vein of education. What can we give?
That is the thing. All Cuba asks for is solidarity. For those who always say that, nobody gives you something for nothing, as if Cuba is looking for something here in Grenada. You can see that Cuba supported a revolutionary government over all of these years. And when the revolution collapsed after 4.5 years, they still continue to offer assistance. They don't offer assistance to the government per se. I mean, they offer assistance to the people. And they continue that assistance throughout. And Cuba doesn't want anything in return, really. For a country who has suffered so much, who has so little when you compare Cuba with other countries, but still finds the means to help people in so many ways. They, even after they was unceremoniously booted out of Grenada in 1983 by the Americans, and they told us, we should never have relations with this communist country. No. What did they do for us? Nothing. Really, in a substantial way. Cuba still had to come back and build a hospital for us, even after all of that. And what do they ask for in return? Nothing. All they ask for in return is solidarity, that we condemn the blockade that they have been suffering under for the last 60 years, that when we go to the United Nations, we condemn it. And it's not just Grenada. I mean, in the last General Assembly, only two countries were against that resolution condemning the blockade. And for 29 long years in the United Nations, the people of the world have been saying to America, enough is enough. Lift the blockade, give the people a chance to breathe. But no. They won't do that at all. When they want to use the United Nations to continue their goal of oppression and mayhem on other countries and legitimize it, they go there immediately. But when the rest of the world is speaking, for 29 years I'm telling America, enough is enough, let Cuba survive. They have not done anything wrong, they just want to develop their country as they see fit. No, they won't allow that at all. And that's all they ask is just they want the solidarity and the condemnation of the blockade that has listed for so many years, with the hope that at some point that it will be lifted.
Well, we all, as Grenadians, I know most, if not all of us, would love that blockade to be lifted. But I know tourism might not like it, Doc. That's a private one. Tourism might just get a little challenge there. But nonetheless, what comes to the Caribbean comes to the Caribbean. If it goes to Cuba, I bet your bottom dollar that somewhere or another, the people of the Caribbean will benefit, even if a lot of the tours are geared towards Cuba if the blockade is lifted. Don't you think?
I think so, because Cuba is not for Cuba alone. Cuba is about the Caribbean and of course Latin America. But we would have benefited because, Cuba's airlines, an airline, and their thing is not just to have it in tourism centered only in Cuba. They would have liked to encourage like package deals, like you go to Cuba, you come to Grenada, that kind of thing. And we would have there would have been a spin-off effect. If Cuba is allowed to try, but let me tell you, mister, this Caribbean would be a different Caribbean. And that's what the Americans recognize. And that is why they continue to hold on to this hostility that they've had for 60 years, because they know that at the end, with this little opening under Obama, things just started to happen.
Okay.
And that's what they don't want. They don't want the Caribbean to come together. They want to divide and rule, as they always do, make Cuba look as if it's not a part of the Caribbean, as if it's an alien part because they speak Spanish, And Morris also said that's what the colonialists have used against us over the years. The fact that we speak different languages. They try to make us look as if we're different. We're not different. We want people in one Caribbean. And irrespective of the language that we speak, we have a common language, which is the language of love. And those who love the Caribbean know that Cuba is a loving and an integral part of the Caribbean, because I've helped the Caribbean in so many ways. And if Cuba is allowed to thrive, the Caribbean will be, as a real leader and thriving in the Caribbean, the Caribbean will be completely different.
Someone who just joined the conversation online here is asking a question, and I'm going to try to answer. Maybe you might be able to help me. And the question is, I just joined, is the new government standing with Cuba? And I would say if they weren't standing with Cuba, then Cuba wouldn't have, the president wouldn't be here. Am I correct here?
No, you're totally correct. The new government is in solidarity with Cuba. In fact, in his address to the United Nations recently, the Prime Minister denounced the blockade against Cuba, and the fact that he's coming here is testimony to the good relations between Grenada and Cuba. There's no hostility. Grenada and Cuba are brothers and sisters, and that will continue in perpetuity.
And just to go back a bit here, Doc, one of the persons who was a candidate for MBPM is now our foreign minister who would have studied in Cuba.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, they say what goes around comes around.
This
is a real classical case of this, because our brother Joseph Handel, as you know for yourself, as a man from the St. Patrick's area, as you rightfully said, he ran for MBPM.
Yeah.
And he stood up from since those days, and it's one of the things that I feel the proudest about. The fact that after all of these years, look at him today, the foreign minister. Something that has come full circle, and somebody who has studied in Cuba, as so many others. Lennox Andrew.
Oh, he did. He did too. I didn't know. I didn't know.
Lennox Andrew and Mr. Cornwall.
Yeah.
All of these are people who have studied in Cuba.
Okay, great. Yeah. And Dr. Modest too, Dr. Clarice Modest.
Well, yeah, of course, Dr. Modest. That's well known. As part of the Key Mitchell administration. But in this present administration, there are three. Cuban graduates,
well, that's wonderful. Anyway, Doc, we got to wrap it now. So we'll see on Wednesday evening. It's going to be at the Trade Center at 5 o'clock.
At 5 o'clock.
Yeah. So, well, I guess this could be the beginning of many conversations. I've got your number. You have my number.
Yes, Andrew. Thank you very much for having me.
No problem.
And have a nice day.
Can you do me a favor, please?
Sure.
Tell Peggy to leave me alone.
Okay.
Don't bother me. Tell Peggy just leave me alone, please.
Okay.
All right, Doc. Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself, too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Speaking there with Dr. Terence Marshall, former leader of the Morris Bishop Patriotic Movement, that was a political party back then, and still a doctor, still practicing, and he came on air this morning so as to encourage people to come out to the Trade Center. That will be tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock, and he says they want to start on time and they want to be able to give a rousing welcome to President Diaz, the president of Cuba, who is on a Caribbean tour. He wrapped up in St. Vincent. He should be in Barbados today, and then tomorrow, God's will, he will be in beautiful Spice Country. This is real. This is 91.9, 91.5, www.drealfmgrenada.com. It's a Tuesday morning, Tuesday the 6th day of the 12th month. Let's make that 11 minutes after the 9 o'clock hour. Yeah. We're going to have news. Yeah, which is supposed to be played at the top of the hour. We're going to have the news and then some adverts and then great music for you right here on your favorite radio station. Good morning. God bless you. And thanks for choosing Real FM Radio.
Triple N. Informative, entertaining, and first.